afternoon. I'd like to invite all the panelists on the stage to present their introductory remarks, specifically focusing on their outlook on their respective businesses currently and over the next immediate term. Additionally, if they could also talk about what they believe large national advertisers want, and if there are any specific challenges or opportunities that they see in that space. So if I could request Venkat first to take off, please.
I somehow believe that the title chosen is not right because there's nothing to lure. Actually, they need us as much as we need them. So the question of we luring them into Andhra Pradesh or any region for that matter is not right. Let me take you back before we talk about the subject per se to what historically the kind of media selling existed a couple of decades ago. Today, the business, if you look at what comes into regional media rather, is based on, there are two types of advertisers. One is the bigger ones who go by a certain, let's take NRS, IRS figures. Second one purely go by the gut feel, the local advertisers who think that whatever gives them the better results in terms of the footfalls into the store or whatever. So you have to bifurcate both of them, the local and the national advertisers. The role played in the past by the agencies was quite different to what it is today. In those days you had one media manager, today you got planners, you got buyers. Buyer's job is just to make sure that they get the best rate. But anyway, before coming to the buyer's logic, let me go back to how it operated. In the good old days, you had only ABC certificate based on which the business was generated. The first NRS came out in 78, and the second one came sometime in another 5-6 years later, sometime in 82, 83. Then the next one came in 87. Then sometime in 95, actually the IRS came out, the first IRS, and it was yearly, then it became half yearly, and now it's quarterly. The figures in terms of the register profile is given as frequently as 3 months. Maybe someday it will also become a monthly in time to come. With this background to what has happened in the 70s, early 70s, it was purely based on ABC. Now it's purely based on readership profile at the national level. At the local level, readership hardly matters because it's only they know the medium better than the others. In a situation like this today, if you say that you lure national advertisers to regional, as I mentioned at the very start, it's nobody lures anybody. We sell media space and time. They need media space and time to make sure that the message is conveyed properly to the audience in whether it's in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, whether it's in Srinagar or whether it's in Bengal. In a situation like this, it's equally important for media to also be clear what they are actually selling, what they're offering, what their audience is. This is the standard practice for every media house where they go to an agency and present themselves saying that if it's a national level, they're no longer present anything like ABC. ABC is redundant to them. ABC is only a matter of figure. At that level, they only have to give the profile of the audience. Now comes the other side of it today. If you take print, you take television, you take radio, you take outdoor, like what they have. Each one plays a specific role. Now within print, where we are now talking about print, today, not only just in Andhra Pradesh, but any part of the country, print again is bifurcated itself into regions, into districts, into as narrowly focused as into a city too, and within city, a particular locality. Advertisers therefore need not look at, like in the good old days, that give an ad and it goes all Andhra or all Karnataka or all Maharashtra, but they can actually focus the message in print into specific areas. So it becomes easy for them to actually choose a particular publication and where the strength lies and where the readership figures are higher or lower. If the other way of looking at it is, let's take television, is also a mass medium. You cannot micro-target it anywhere at all. It's across, wherever the signal falls, with the right from possibly somewhere north of Asia to almost Southeast Asia to west of Africa, signal falls in that way. So everybody receives it, leave alone the state in which. So there you can't focus it. But some efforts are being made by some broadcasters. Like if you take, I'm just giving you an example of a National Geographic. What they, or I mean any channel, bigger channel which is pan-India, the text part of it is in the local language. They can text, the content part of it will be standard. They can speak in Telugu, they can speak in Tamil, they can speak in Malayalam, they can speak. So they at a different level, they break up the text and then the local language is inserted at the satellite transmission level. So that's only the language wise. But however, the message is still across the thing. Now when it comes to outdoor, you can just reach one locality, one street, one advantage. So these are options. Radio also again is fairly largely confined to one particular area within the cities, going to different places. Now, coming back to the question of luring the national advertisers, as I said that there's nothing like lure, but I think largely depends on how you sell it to them. The ability of a particular medium is to sell properly. Now, selling doesn't mean just giving the figures, but a lot depends on the after-sale service too, which is very, very important. There have been occasions where you've seen that whichever medium or a media house has a better equation in terms of service also makes a lot of difference. Though not many people pay large importance to the service part of it, I would think that service is equally important in any sale.
We are in static media. We are very location specific. We are not like television or newspaper to cover everything, every area. So ours is a very small role compared to television and newspaper. We play a very small role. And plus we don't enjoy the kind of business print and television gets the share. Our share is very small compared to the other medias. We are city specific. Now with this, our business normally now comes through the buying agencies, media buying. Earlier we used to deal with the clients directly. Now the media buyers have come in the picture. So the entire, I would say like 70-80% of the business is routed through the media buying agencies. And we are our business is city specific. For having this media across the state is a big task, and there are not too many players in this business who cover the state, as one company. And there are national players, there are city specific, there are town specific, there are area specific. Also, smaller players are there in this media.
Basically, I come from the online world. We have print, we have hoardings, we have TV, where regional and national and international are very different. We come from a perspective of everything is next door. I think we had a previous speaker talk about how everything is connected. You can click a button, be in Slovakia and talk to or get information and such. But that being said, I was thinking this morning, exactly what is the issue here. The issue is you have regional media. I'm not sure if it's even an issue, but it is regional media. And national advertisers have better segmentation, better information on national media. And maybe there's not enough understanding on how one can run an ad in the regional area. Primarily because, like Mr. Venkat was talking about service, an understanding of what exactly works, what exactly doesn't work. Why should I run an ad on this particular publication versus others and such. Coming from an online perspective, it's about targeting. It's about getting an ad out there that works for you. If you're running an ad to sell a shampoo, you want to make sure people who watch it at least register the shampoo brand and then look at maybe next purchase, go buy it. The essence of it is that anyways. So it's about finding relevant advertising. And how can you run an ad where, which is, if you do a hoarding, for example, you do a hoarding in Banjara Hills versus you do a hoarding in Malakpet or different areas, you cater to that particular area, you try to make sure that the ad is relevant to that. And that's probably what the agencies try and do. And I think the world is changing, media itself is changing, and TV also, talking about IPTV and such things are changing going forward. The opportunity exists. The bigger houses like in Inadu or TV9 and such, they have significant presence, they can easily attract national advertisers. Talking about the smaller ones, I believe there may be an opportunity for them to group up. I don't know how feasible or infeasible it is. It has been feasible on the online world. A lot of small websites get together, or there is an aggregator who takes the traffic across all the small websites and represents it collectively to the advertiser. So it makes it easier for somebody to see how it's all segmented and how their particular ad works. So that's my two thoughts on that. So I'll leave it at that.